what it is and what it ain't, I'm gonna let y'all know what I think. But first, y'all need to hit that post notification bell button so you always be in a loop every time I drop a new video. Today we finna talk about the rapper that went by the name of Dirtbag. Yeah, Dirtbag. He was originally from Knoxville, Tennessee, but he was raised in Miami. Like all his life, he been back and forth, but really he a Miami nigga. You know what I mean? But he grew up down there in South Florida, man, Miami to be exact, man, and he got signed by the age of 18 to Big Baller Records. Y'all remember that blockbuster movie that had kind of bit off Master P video with the Big Ballers and stuff like that. That's the label he was signed to. He was signed over there to them cats. And you know what I mean? He was like getting money from big dope dealers and shit like that for advances and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's what his advance was. Some hard, some motherfucking weed, and some motherfucking money. You know what I mean? Them niggas looked out for him, you know what I mean? Because you remember he had the 12 pack, all goals in his mouth. And he used to be the weight boy. You know what I mean? He used to be the weight man. And he used to say he had a song called I'm the Sack Boy. And he used to let you know he played with that sugar booger, but the nigga was a star, you know what I mean? Because he used to go by Joe Vicious, you know what I mean? Then he started blowing up, like, after he did that song with Monica, shit, he was off to the races. There wasn't nothing that he couldn't do. He was popping up on Puff Daddy songs, uh, Fat Joe them click, Tony Sunshine, and he was just doing his thing because he got signed to Cool and Dre, and he introduced Rick Ross to Cool and Dre. He was there, man. Him, Deuce Poppy, who y'all call Slab right now, all them niggas was together at one point in time. And at that time, the big dog was Dirtbag. You feel me? Because he's supposed to blew up anything that Cool and Dre was working on. They put Dirtbag on there. Dirtbag, Pitbull, Jackie O, all them came up on the same ranks. You know what I mean? And Dirtbag was blowing up on the independent level, dropping his own tapes, you know what I mean, independently. And then he fell off the scene and he got into a beef with Red Ross and Deuce Poppy and everybody, you know what I mean? Because them niggas kind of blackballed him and stuff because they were like, dawg, you getting too high, my nigga. You know what I mean? Your cocaine habit is just out of control and shit like that, dog. And he was beefing with Plies and shit like that. And eventually, he ended up going to jail, man, because, you know, he was on drugs real bad and shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, he got cleaned up. He been through hell and back, though, you know what I mean? But the industry just kind of fucked him up, you know what I mean? But he been through hell and back, but he back on the scene. I don't know if he back in jail or whatever, but he had went back to Knoxville for a little bit, took care of some situations, some cases for some shit he had done. And, you know, he was out there in 4 miles for a little bit. And, you know, he done lived in Broward back and forth from Miami to Broward his whole life, man. You know what I mean? He done came out with some new shit. Uncle Luke wanted to still fuck with him. But he was signed to Slip and Slide. He got a platinum plat from Slip and Slide, too, when he was on Trick Daddy album, Thug Matrimony. You know what I mean? He was on that album. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that boy Dirtbag was a beast, man. You know what I mean? I wish I could have heard more music from him. You know what I mean? Cause he was a shit, man. He was a dude with the gold teeth. And he'd be like, little buddy, little buddy, little buddy, little buddy. He had his own swag, man. You know, he was down with Flip Mode, Busta Rhymes and shit. He was like a crossover kind of swag dude. And, you know, he got Knoxville popping even though he wasn't repping Knoxville, but niggas from Knoxville know that, you know, that boy was really born there, but he just didn't have none of that kind of swag. He just carried himself as a Miami nigga. And he'll tell you from the day kind of Trail 5, you know what I mean? Because he had all 12 permanent gold teeth in his mouth, you know what I mean, from Dr. Kelly. And he had the dreads and the fro and shit, nappy fro. You could tell, you know, he was so cocaine out in most of his videos and verses and shit like that. You know, even Rick Ross tried to put some rumors out because they had big diss songs going back and forth and shit. But Dirtbag was always the type of dude to tell a nigga, man, the truth, man. I get down, but shit, nigga, I write music, I do good music, and that's just what it is. And that song, Rodeo, and a couple other songs, man, he really wrote that song. They sold it to Juvenile, and he got broke off because he a big-time songwriter. A lot of people don't know. Uh, that boy Dirtbag penned some hit songs that he not even on, but he not allowed to tell y'all who the songs that he sold them to. But I'm just gonna tell y'all, Juvenile was one of his major supporters that was buying his music and remaking it and making hits. Peace of mind.